Have you ever felt like you were destined for a more meaningful life? One filled with emotional peace, deep connections, and a kind of abundance that doesn't just elevate your finances, but also heals your heart? Like deep down, you've always known you were meant to live with purpose, guided by intuition, surrounded by people you love, and nourished by moments that truly matter. And yet, no matter how much you give, care, or try to stay hopeful, something still feels like it's missing. Maybe it's not because you're on the wrong path. Maybe it's because you've been walking the right path, but not in your natural rhythm. Because here's something most people don't realize. Wealth doesn't only come to those who hustle the hardest. Sometimes it comes to those who feel the deepest. Those who remember that their sensitivity is not a flaw, it's a sacred power. And if you are a Cancer, then what I'm about to share with you could shift everything about the way you see yourself and your future. You see, Cancer is one of the most misunderstood signs in the zodiac. People label you as too emotional, too soft, or too nostalgic. But the universe doesn't see you that way. In fact, the universe gave you a gift most people will spend their whole lives searching for. A soul that remembers, a heart that sees beyond words, and an energy that magnetizes blessings through care, intuition, and connection. You weren't born to climb ladders the traditional way. You were born to build sanctuaries, spaces of safety, beauty, and lasting abundance. And yes, Cancer, you were born to be rich. But have you truly owned that truth yet? Have you looked around at your life and honestly felt, deep in your soul, that you're activating your full potential to attract the wealth, peace, and legacy you were meant for? Or are you still trying to force yourself into systems that feel too cold, too rigid, too disconnected from who you really are? Are you working jobs that deplete your energy, living in environments that drain you, or following paths that make you feel like you have to choose between love and success? Because here's what the universe needs you to remember. Cancer doesn't need to grind harder. Cancer needs to live softer, but with clarity. The moment you align your life and work with your natural gifts, your intuition, your nurturing presence, your emotional wisdom, your protective instincts, you stop begging for success, and success starts to come find you. In this video, I'm going to share with you 10 career paths that won't just make you money, but will activate your soul's true calling. Paths that feel natural, that feel aligned, that feel like home. These aren't just jobs. They are portals. And every single one of them has the potential to awaken the wealthy, peaceful, deeply fulfilled version of you, if you're ready to step through. But I need to be honest, this message is not for the passive listener. It's for the Cancers who are ready to stop doubting themselves, who are ready to stop hiding their strength behind softness, who are ready to reclaim their emotional power and build a life that is not only successful but deeply meaningful. So, before we go further, I want you to do something real. Take a deep breath. Let your shoulders drop. Place your hand on your heart and feel that quiet, stirring the one that says, I was made for more. If you feel it, say this with me. Say it out loud, or type it in the comments below. I am ready to be rich. Say it not from your ego, but from your knowing. Because the universe responds to those who speak from the soul. And if you want more messages like this, more cosmic guidance aligned with your Cancer energy, hit like, subscribe to this channel, and stay close. Because this video isn't just a message, it's a sign, a soul-level signal. You didn't find it by accident. You were drawn here for a reason. So go ahead, pour yourself a warm cup of tea or coffee, create a cozy space, and let's go on this journey together. A journey into the design of your spirit. A journey into the truth about Cancer and prosperity. A journey that could change everything if your heart is open enough to receive. And stay with me until the very end, because I'll be revealing one sacred truth, something most Cancers never hear, a hidden pattern that may be the reason your wealth hasn't fully arrived yet. But once you understand it, everything begins to shift. Are you ready? Let's begin. There are souls born under the stars, not just to survive, but to nurture, to protect, and to create a life filled with meaning. Cancer is one of them. If you were born under the sign of Cancer, you may have sensed even from a very young age that you feel the world more deeply than others. While many rush to chase goals, prove points, or gain status, you paused to feel, to understand, to connect. That's not fragility. That's your superpower, because here's the truth. Wealth doesn't always come to those who push the hardest. More often, it flows to those who sense what others ignore: emotional value, timing, energetic alignment, and care. And this is exactly what makes Cancer so profoundly powerful. You are ruled by the moon, the celestial body of emotion, intuition, nurturing, and yes, abundance, but not the kind of abundance that screams. Yours whispers, yours flows, yours grows like roots, steady, sacred, and strong. In 2025, the energy of the universe is shifting, and with it, Cancer is being activated. You're not being asked to chase after wealth. You're being invited to magnetize it, to open the door not by force, but by feeling. The universe is laying out emotional blueprints, hidden invitations, golden doorways, and each one leads to wealth, but only if you walk through it with trust and emotional clarity. So let me ask you something you may never have asked yourself before. Have you truly activated your wealth frequency? Have you recognized that your natural gifts, your empathy, your loyalty, your ability to create emotional safety and see beneath the surface are not just personal qualities, they are sacred tools for building legacy? The year 2025 isn't just another chapter. It's a threshold, a rebirth, a calling back to the core of who you are. Cancer, you were never meant to climb your way to success like everyone else. You were meant to flow into it through relationships, intuition, trust, and emotional truth. The more you try to copy the world's loud formulas for success, the more blocked your energy becomes. But the moment you realize that your emotional depth is your direction, your sensitivity is your strength, and your ability to hold space for others is your hidden currency, everything begins to shift. Wealth doesn't always respond to control. It responds to authenticity. And your frequency, Cancer, is naturally tuned for prosperity when you allow yourself to stop hardening and start harmonizing. Whether your zone of genius is healing, storytelling, caregiving, creative nurturing, or emotional intuition, you were made to be a lighthouse in this world, the one who reminds others what truly matters, and gets paid generously for doing so. The universe chose you not just to live a good life, but to show others that safety and success can coexist. That abundance isn't always loud, rigid, or cold. Sometimes it's soft, warm, and fiercely protective. Sometimes making money isn't about chasing numbers, it's about anchoring meaning, grounding emotion, creating a space where wealth wants to stay. So what kind of abundance is coming for Cancer in 2025? Here's the truth. The biggest financial doors won't swing open to those shouting the loudest. They will open for those who see what others miss, the deeper patterns, the emotional undercurrents, the places where love meets legacy. And Cancer, you were born to see those things. This is your year to stop downplaying your inner knowing, to stop hiding your depth, because the world feels too shallow to understand it. This is the year you rise not loudly, but fully, not by becoming someone else, but by coming home to yourself. The universe doesn't reward force, it rewards frequency. And when Cancer is in alignment, the blessings don't just trickle in, they pour. So now the real question is, Are you ready to discover the paths, the vocations, the soul callings that will not only make you wealthy, but will make you feel at home in your own spirit? Because in the next part of this video, I'm going to reveal the 10 most aligned career paths and business models for Cancer to awaken their millionaire destiny, not by climbing faster, but by going deeper. Not by changing who you are, but by finally embracing it. Stay close, because the universe has been waiting for this moment with you, and for you, for a very long time. So, what are the career paths that will turn your emotional intelligence into income, your nurturing energy into influence, and your intuitive gifts into unstoppable abundance? Cancer, the truth is, the universe has already carved out these opportunities just for you. Your only job is to recognize them, trust them, and step into them with heart. Here are the 10 soul-aligned career paths that will not only bring you wealth in 2025, but will make you a millionaire in your own Cancerian way. Deep, meaningful, and divinely guided. Let's start with the most natural: healing and care. Whether it's holistic wellness, energy work, or emotional coaching, your gift lies in making people feel safe and seen. And here's the secret: when people feel emotionally held, they open not just their hearts, but also their wallets. Imagine owning a peaceful healing space where people walk in feeling broken and walk out whole, not just from the techniques you use, but from the love you pour into the space. Visualize shelves lined with herbal remedies, your own self-care line, your face representing comfort, trust, and transformation. You're not just offering a service, you're offering sanctuary. And with your emotional depth and intuitive touch, you can build a wellness empire that nourishes people from the inside out. Now, let's talk about the natural protector in you. Cancer is the sign of the guardian, the nurturer, the fierce advocate. Have you ever been the one who stands up for others, who senses injustice before anyone else does? That's not random, it's divine purpose. Becoming a family lawyer, therapist, social worker, or even a conscious leader aligns perfectly with your soul. You're not just solving problems, you're restoring trust. And in 2025, the world will crave ethical protectors, people who lead with heart. Whether you're guiding families through crisis, creating policy that protects the vulnerable, or offering healing justice, you're monetizing your ability to care deeply, and the world is ready to pay you well for that. Then there's your incredible creative power. Cancer is one of the most imaginative signs in the zodiac. You don't just make art, you infuse it with feeling. Whether you're a children's book, author, interior designer, musician, or filmmaker, you don't create for applause, you create to move souls. And in a world starved for meaning, that is priceless. Imagine launching a publishing company, designing sacred spaces, creating music that soothes hearts, or visual stories that heal old wounds. Your creativity isn't a hobby, it's a calling. And when you treat it like the sacred gift it is, abundance follows. But you don't always have to be behind the scenes. Cancer has a quiet magnetism, a presence that makes people feel safe, grounded, and understood. That's why content creation is a natural path for you. Not the kind that's flashy, but the kind that touches people deeply. You don't have to perform. You just have to be real. Imagine a YouTube channel where you share your healing routines, comforting advice, or nurturing recipes. Imagine a podcast where people tune in just to hear your calm voice and grounded wisdom. The soft life you live, the quiet rituals, the gentle reminders, the emotional intelligence that's your brand. That's your business. You also have an eye for legacy and lineage. As a personal historian, ancestral healing coach, or legacy brand consultant, you can help people understand where they come from, so they can feel more secure in where they're going. In a world moving too fast, you offer something sacred: roots. And when people feel rooted, they invest. You can build a business around storytelling, photo preservation, family rituals, or even DNA-based wellness. What others see as old, you see as sacred, and that reverence is your superpower. Now let's talk home the most sacred word in the Cancerian vocabulary. Your connection to comfort, security, and emotional space makes you a natural for careers in real estate, home design, feng shui, or spiritual homemaking. You don't just sell homes, you sell peace. Imagine curating sacred spaces, creating home retreats, or even starting a channel all about emotional interiors. People will pay not just for the house, but for the feeling you help them create within it. You're also an incredible connector. You may be introverted, but you feel people deeply, and that's what makes you a master in brand storytelling, PR with heart, or conscious event planning. You create experiences that aren't just impressive, they're emotionally unforgettable. Whether you're planning spiritual retreats, organizing community healing events, or managing emotionally resonant campaigns, you're turning connection into currency. And the more you do it your way, slow, intentional, caring, the more wealth will naturally find you. Maybe you've dreamed of starting something your own: a handmade product line, a soulful cafe, a maternal support brand. Cancer, you were born to build sacred businesses that feel like family, that create rituals, that hold emotion. You don't need to scale fast. You need to grow real. When people feel the heart in your brand, they'll come back over and over again. Loyalty, not loudness, will be your marketing superpower. Let's not ignore your deep sensitivity to energy and symbolism. You see what others don't. That makes you an ideal energy healer, intuitive guide, or sacred space creator. Whether it's Reiki, intuitive readings, crystal work, or emotional coaching, you're not just offering insight, you're offering soul-level clarity. And in 2025, as people wake up spiritually, they'll be looking for gentle, grounded guides like you. You don't need to shout, you need to listen and lead from your intuitive heart. And finally, we come to your spiritual side. Yes, Cancer belongs in the mystical realm. Astrology, intuitive coaching, moon work. These aren't just hobbies, they're ancient pathways to prosperity. You don't need to be theatrical, you just need to be true. Your connection to lunar cycles, ancestral memory, and emotional intuition makes you a deeply trusted guide. People don't come to you for answers. They come to be felt, seen, and remembered. And that's where the real value lives. So Cancer, now you know. You don't need to abandon your essence to build wealth. You need to honor it. Each of these careers is a mirror of your deepest self. Your journey to abundance doesn't begin with pushing, it begins with permission. And in the next part, I'll reveal how to turn any of these soul-aligned paths into a sustainable, powerful business using your natural Cancer energy. We'll explore how to protect your peace while increasing your profits, how to set boundaries that honor your energy, and how to create emotional safety around money itself. Stay with me because this isn't just another message. This is your soul remembering the life you came here to live. We've explored the career paths, the soulful doors the universe has carved for you, Cancer. But now, let's go deeper, because knowing your path is only part of the journey. The other part is learning how to walk it like a Cancer. You see, most people are taught to chase money, to grind, sacrifice, outperform. But Cancer was never meant to operate that way. Cancer is built for alignment, not hustle, for intuition over impulse, for attracting, not forcing. And that's why your financial strategy must be rooted in emotional intelligence, not just effort. Here's your first truth. You can't rely on just one income stream. Not because you're trying to be everywhere at once, but because your soul thrives on meaningful variety. You are ruled by the moon, the celestial mother, the keeper of cycles, emotion, and nourishment. The moon doesn't shine the same every night. She shifts, expands, retreats, and Cancer, so do you. You flourish when your money comes from different sources, each one connected to something that feeds your soul. This is your divine permission to diversify intuitively. Maybe you build a nurturing YouTube channel that soothes people with your energy, while also offering trauma-informed coaching. Maybe your homemade wellness products sell online, while your in-person sessions become booked out months in advance. Maybe you write heartfelt stories, design sacred spaces, teach healing arts. The point is, you don't have to split your soul to earn, you get to pour it into every revenue stream that reflects who you truly are. Here's something traditional financial advice won't tell you. For Cancer, safety and beauty are not indulgences. They're power sources. When you invest in your emotional and physical environment, your space, your branding, your presence, you activate magnetism. People feel you. They trust you before you speak. And when your outer world reflects your inner peace, they're drawn in. Cancer doesn't have to shout value. You embody it in how you hold space, how you move, how you show up. So invest in your visual world, your brand photos, your home office vibe, your digital presence. These aren't luxuries. They're lighthouses that help your abundance find you. But the most important thing you'll ever build, your personal brand. In today's world, where everyone is trying to be louder, faster, flashier, your softness is your signal. When people feel emotionally seen and safe in your presence, they follow, they trust, they come back. You're not selling a service. You're offering a feeling, a Cancer signature feeling. And once someone experiences it, they won't want to go anywhere else. So how do you become that person? You start by choosing spaces where your nurturing energy is celebrated, not dismissed. You rise by placing yourself in communities and rooms that see your tenderness as strength, your empathy as wisdom. That's where your magic shines, not in proving your worth, but in owning it. That's when money flows not from burnout, but from resonance. The truth is, when Cancer tries to follow someone else's formula, ignoring your rhythms, your intuition, your emotions, you end up misaligned, depleted, and disconnected. But when you honor your tides, when you build in sync with your own energetic cycles, you become unstoppable. You no longer chase abundance. You become the home it wants to return to. This is your blueprint for soulful wealth, for nurturing success, for building impact without sacrificing your inner peace, for becoming abundant while still feeling safe, whole, and emotionally fulfilled. But now, let's go one step deeper, because there's something you need to hear, a truth that may be uncomfortable, but will change everything. A hidden emotional pattern that keeps many Cancers blocked from receiving their true wealth. And if you don't spot it, it can silently sabotage your abundance over and over again. So stay with me, because in the next part of this video, I'm going to reveal exactly what not to do if you want to open the floodgates of financial alignment for good. But even with all the beauty, depth, and divine protection that surrounds you, Cancer, there's still one thing that could silently block your abundance. And for you, it doesn't show up as laziness or lack of talent. It often appears as emotional hesitation, as overcaring, as a soft inner voice that whispers, "What if I disappoint someone? What if I take too much? What if people think I've changed?" This is where the danger lies. You see, Cancer's greatest gift, your ability to nurture, to protect, to create emotional safety is also your greatest trap. When left unchecked, it can stop you from stepping into the opportunities the universe is placing right in front of you. How many times have you stayed quiet, even when your soul screamed more, just because you didn't want to rock the boat? How often have you said yes out of guilt instead of desire? How many times have you undercharged for your services, over-delivered in your energy, or allowed your boundaries to be crossed just so others could be comfortable? Cancer, hear me. You were not born to be emotionally convenient for others. You were born to be energetically sovereign, and sovereignty is not always comfortable. Sometimes it means making others uncomfortable so that you can be at peace. Sometimes it means walking away from familiar patterns that no longer honor your growth. Sometimes it requires courage, the kind that says, I choose myself, even when no one else understands why. One of the biggest blocks to Cancer's wealth is this: the fear of being perceived as selfish. You've spent your life giving, holding space, tending to others' wounds. So the idea of claiming more money, more space, more freedom feels almost disloyal to your nature. But here's the cosmic truth. Your abundance cannot arrive if you keep hiding your power beneath emotional obligation. Money responds to confidence, to clarity, to self-respect. When you undervalue your work, hesitate to sell, or water down your magic to stay likable, you're not just losing income, you're telling the universe, I'm not ready. And the universe listens. Another trap? Trying to protect everyone. Cancer, your heart is big. You want to save, shelter, and soothe. But in business and legacy, people-pleasing is a silent thief, because when you spread your emotional energy too thin, you lose yourself in the process, and no one can pay for what they cannot feel. You must own your presence, unapologetically. And let's talk about another danger: building a life that looks nurturing but isn't actually sustainable. The cozy brand, the soulful posts, the beautiful offerings, but underneath, it's chaos, because the structure, the systems, the strategy are missing. Cancer, you must pair your heart with a backbone. Without a framework, even your deepest passion can turn into burnout. And burnout blocks blessings. So here it is, your wake-up call. You don't need to change your essence to become wealthy, but you do need to honor it with boundaries. You must stop apologizing for desiring more. You must start saying no to anything that drains you, so you can say an empowered, sacred yes to the opportunities that expand you. Your emotional depth is not the problem. Your sensitivity is not the issue. But your silence in the face of your own desires, that is what must end. Because abundance is not just for the loud. It's for the aligned, the clear, the emotionally courageous. And you, Cancer, were born to receive deeply, but only when you stop shrinking yourself to make others feel safe. In the final part of this journey, I'll share one last, powerful message, a sacred reminder of what happens when Cancer fully steps into their wealth era, and how you can activate that timeline starting tonight with one simple, soul-charged ritual. Stay close, because this last message may be the moment your spirit has been waiting lifetimes to feel. If you've been seeing the number 1111 lately, again and again, when you least expect it on clocks, receipts, phone screens, license plates, know this: it's not a coincidence. It's a divine signal. The universe is whispering to you, Cancer. Not just once, but repeatedly, gently, firmly, urgently. Why? Because you're standing at the edge of something life-changing, a soul threshold, a moment where your destiny can unfold, but only if you choose to say yes. 2025 is not a year to stay hidden. It is a year of emotional awakening, a year of intuitive bravery, a year when your soul refuses to let you play small, stay silent, or keep dimming your light. You are not here to protect everyone else at the expense of yourself anymore. You are here to lead with heart, to claim what's yours, and to rise not with noise, but with soul-deep certainty. This is the year you create your sanctuary, not through striving, not through proving, but through alignment, intention, and inner strength. The kind of abundance that comes when you finally trust your sensitivity, honor your feelings, and say, yes, I deserve more. It's time to stop waiting for the perfect sign, the right person, or the external validation. You don't need more reassurance. You need one clear choice that you're ready to receive. Because here's the truth. Cancer doesn't have to chase. Never did. You were made to attract, to draw in the right people, opportunities and resources, not by force, but by frequency. By being so aligned, so honest, so emotionally grounded, that abundance can't help but flow toward you. Let others race. Let them hustle. You root. You anchor. You embody. And in your quiet power, everything shifts. Because people don't follow the loudest voice. They follow the one who makes them feel safe, seen, loved. That's you, Cancer. That's always been you. And now, it's time to own it. So tonight, before you drift into sleep, do something soft and sacred. Light a candle. Dim the lights. Sit with yourself, hand on your heart, and say these words out loud. I am ready to receive. I am ready to rise in truth. I am ready to be wealthy in every way. Say it slowly. Let it sink in. Let it echo in the chambers of your soul. Because when you speak with intention, the universe responds. And when you say yes, with your whole being, the path reveals itself. So Cancer, this is your moment. The year your emotions become your compass. The year your intuition becomes your business. The year your presence becomes your prosperity. The year you stop hiding your heart. The year you become rich, not just in money, but in meaning, connection, and legacy. And if something inside you stirred while reading this, if you felt a flutter, a tear, a chill, a knowing, don't walk away from this message without answering the call. Comment below. I am ready to be rich with soul, not for the algorithm, not for me, but for the future version of you, who is already living that truth. She's watching you from her peaceful home, her healing practice, her cozy workspace filled with art, candles, and love smiling, because she knows you finally said yes. And if you want more guidance like this crafted for your Cancer energy, your heart-led journey, make sure you subscribe. Because this isn't just a video, this is a sacred space, a soul circle, a soft revolution. You've heard the call. Now the only question is, will you answer it? Take a deep breath. Now, imagine yourself 1 year from today. It's 2026. You wake up in a space that feels like home, not just physically, but emotionally. It's soft, nurturing, safe. It reflects your essence, calm, soulful, sacred. You're doing work that fills your heart and provides more than you've ever had before, not by pushing, but by trusting. You are grounded, valued, and fully aligned. Your emotions are no longer heavy. Your energy is no longer scattered. You've made peace with your past and stepped fully into your power. You're not waiting anymore because you realized this moment was the turning point. It all began with one brave choice: to stop dimming your heart. The choice to see your tenderness not as a liability, but as your greatest gift. The choice to believe that you were not born to simply cope, but to thrive in love, wealth, and purpose. Cancer, If there's one message I want you to carry from this video, it's this. Your sensitivity is not your weakness. It is your superpower. Your empathy is not a burden. It is your compass. Your craving for comfort, beauty, and emotional connection is not selfish. It is sacred. You were not meant to walk a path designed by others. You were born to create your own, and to do it with care, with depth, and with soul. This is your time. Your wealth timeline has already been activated. And every moment you hesitate, another aligned doorway waits longing to be opened by your readiness. So use this moment not just to feel inspired, but to take that sacred first step. Because inspiration without action is just a beautiful vision. But inspiration with action? That's how you create a life that finally feels like home. If this message touched you, comment below right now. I am ready to be rich with soul. Say it with your chest. Say it with your heart. Let the universe feel the shift inside you. If you haven't already, gently tap that like button, subscribe to this channel, and turn on the notification bell, because the next video may hold the exact message your spirit's been calling in. Inside the description, I've left you a heartfelt gift just for you, Cancer. Something to anchor this moment and help you take your next step into aligned abundance. And if this video resonated deeply and you feel moved to support the energy we're creating together, you can leave a super thanks. Whether it's a word, a gesture, or a blessing, it's received with love and honor. In the next video, we'll explore soul-led rituals to reset your financial energy, activate your moon wisdom, and call in abundance that feels safe, sacred, and sustainable even if you're just beginning. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Until then, remember this. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not too sensitive for this world. You are being called higher, deeper, home. And you, Cancer, are worthy of a life that is nurturing, prosperous, soul-anchored, and free. Let me ask you this. What kind of video would support you most right now? Would you love a ritual to release financial anxiety? A moon-aligned manifestation practice? Or maybe something deeper like healing generational wounds or reconnecting with your spiritual gifts? Tell me in the comments. I read each one. I'm here to co-create content that speaks directly to your heart. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing yourself. Thank you for trusting the path even when it's tender. This is your season. This is your sign. And this is just the beginning. See you in the next video, beautiful soul.